Welcome back everyone to Let's Play ILLBLEED. Last time we found Jimmy's home run bat, which is what Erico's going to be using as her weapon during this level. So now that we have a weapon, we can actually fight enemies now, instead of just running away like last time. And we're going to be getting an exhibition of Erico's fighting skill up here, as there's an enemy encounter right there. Now, enemy encounters, like traps, can raise Erico's heart rate, so just keep that in mind. That's why you want to tag those. If you tag them, nothing's going to happen. So, here's our first enemy, the Crash Test Dummy. Now, the Crash Test Dummy, he's sort of the basic enemy in ILLBLEED, and he seems to be kind of the mascot of the game, as you'll see imagery of this guy in several places, such as the Game Over screen. I don't really know what the game's deal is with Crash Test Dummies, but they seem to like them. Anyway, this is a very basic enemy, very simple. All you have to do is really run around to avoid its attacks, then hit it twice with the bat. You can go for a 3-hit combo with the bat. I would not recommend that because it'll usually give the dummy enough time to reprise and give you a hit in return. For beating that enemy, you get a little bit of adrenaline back, and that's your reward for doing that. That's the reason you'd want to fight enemies in the first place. You don't get any money or experience points or anything like that, you get adrenaline back. So if you're using a lot of adrenaline to tag these traps, then you do want to go into some fights, and that item there, the ampule, is also going to refill our adrenaline. You don't really need it too much right now because I know where most of the traps are, but relaxation CD, that's something that we're probably going to end up using because what the relaxation CD does is it reduces Erico's heart rate. And if you look at Erico's heart rate, that just went up because I was surprised by that battle. I did not tag it. So I think that made Erico's heart rate go up 17, and you want to keep your eye on that. The baseline for the heart rate is 50. Right now it's okay, but if that heart rate gets up to around 200, Erico will start to faint from anything that surprises her, and if it gets over 250, she's going to die of shock. Anyway, this fight is against 2 Crash Test Dummies. Strategy's the same, just run around, avoid the attacks, and hit twice with the bat. The only difference is that when you fight 2 enemies, they can hurt each other, so one strategy is to try to get them to hit each other. And for beating 2 enemies, we get double the adrenaline boost. Now, the enemies in the Home Run of Death are not too much to be concerned about. They're all pretty easy, except for one. There's only one kind of enemy that you really need to be concerned about. We're going to be seeing him pretty soon. And that injection I just picked up, that's another adrenaline recovering item. Again, I actually don't think we use any adrenaline recovery items in this playthrough of this level. Just because we're not tagging extraneous spots. You know, this game actually has quite a bit of tension the first time you play it, though you probably wouldn't even know that watching this video, but it actually is a little bit scary. Not Silent Hill scary or anything like that, but scary in that you don't know what's going to come out and attack you, since your enemy is really the level itself rather than the monsters. Any of these spots, they could be items, or they could be traps, or they could be nothing. So this time, going through the game this time, I know that when you walk through this room, if you take the right path, you can pick up delicious foodstuffs like the steak and the salad. But if you go through the left path, malevolent chicken, you get attacked by the chicken in the oven, and random green gas. So the first time you're playing through, you don't know which way is the safe way. And if you've already used all of your adrenaline previously, then you just have to guess. As you might imagine, guessing is not going to work out too well for you in this game. Now, since I didn't get ambushed in the kitchen, that means there's going to be an attack right here. Now that we have the bat, we can actually fight the meatman this time. Meatman's very easy. He's much easier than the crash test dummies. He's very slow. All you have to do is run around behind him and hit him with the bat. There's no real problem here. The meatman, we won't see too much of him after the first level, and it's easy to see why. He's like a practice enemy. He's just here to show you the ropes. The enemies do get a lot harder after this level. I'm not going to have such an easy time further on in the game. Now, this is an easy item to miss. You really don't want to miss this one because this is a key item. You need this one to finish the level. If you miss that certificate on the wall, you're just going to have to backtrack here later on because you're going to reach a dead end from which you can't get past. There is a clue that you need to get that certificate, but you don't see that clue until later on. Again, this is nothing we weren't already told before. In the intro, it told us all about that. Mr. Banbello went mad and killed his guests after the hotel fire. So we're not learning anything new yet. A coagulant. Coagulant is the most powerful blood-staunching item in the game. So that's definitely a good one to have. It'll get rid of your bleeding meter no matter how full it is. Now this room coming up here, a lot of spots to tag. We're going to drain our adrenaline completely just going through this room. And something that I forgot about is that in the bathroom to the right there's actually an item called a caution bomb, which I can use to automatically tag all the traps within a certain proximity of the character. I forgot that was there, so we didn't actually need to use all of that adrenaline. We'll be seeing a caution bomb later on. I think the next time we see one is in level 4, but I just forgot about it here. This would have been a good room to use it in since there are so many spots to tag. If I just went to the right, yeah, to the right there is where it is. But there's another item here, so I thought that the Sixth Sense beep was for that. I think this game needed more Fall Down Bear. That's the only time we ever see that guy. That was an alternate animation, though. If you don't tag that TV, you get a more startling animation, which we'll be seeing a little later on. Yeah, even the graffiti is deadly in ILLBLEED. I don't know what that has to do with the story about the burned innkeeper and his dead son, but yes, paint flies off the walls and hits you. That is one of the not so weird things that happens in this game compared to what we'll be seeing later on. And Meatman is taking another go at us. For some reason, Meatmen like to hide in the bathrooms here. It's possible to sneak past those ambush points, but it's kind of difficult. You have to really squeeze against the wall. Now you can actually knock the Meatman down with the third hit from the bat. So for this enemy, you actually do want to hit him 3 times. Other enemies, I would not suggest doing that. And Meatman did not even have the decency to guard any items in that bathroom. There's nothing in there. Well, that corpse in the hallway doesn't appear the least bit suspicious. I'm certain there is no trap to be found in that corpse in the middle of the hallway. Sometimes the game does make it pretty obvious. Not always. That deep breath item I picked up before the trap, it's another pulse lowering item. I don't really know why Eriko needs an item to take a deep breath, but yeah, the deep breath item lowers your pulse a little bit. One thing I don't like about this level is that the hallways are all very samey, very similar. It's all just the same burnt corridors for the first part of this level, but things will get changed up a bit later on. It gets pretty different.